At the time of making this video, Andor has less than 1 week before the final episodes drop in season 2, and this is the last season we will get of this show. If you're not already watching, let me give you 10 reasons why you should be. If you are watching, what do you think of my reasons? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have anything more to add? Please let me know in the comments section. Also, if you like this video, consider letting me know by clicking the like button. And if you're so inclined, please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos on entertainment of all kinds. Now for my list. Number 10, the retro tech. Knobs, toggles, switches, buttons. It is satisfyingly clicky. The aesthetic is amazing, at once nostalgic, futuristic, comprehensible, and familiar. Of course, there are spaceships and lasers, hyperjumps and hovercraft that skim along above the ground, holograms and droids. This is Star Wars, after all. But the retro tech. I suppose we have production designer Luke Hall and his team to thank. Delicious! Number 9, the costumes and hairstyles. We see fashions that are out of this world, but we also see clothing that evokes certain eras and cultures in our own history. Billowing gowns, classical robes, military jackets, uniforms of all kinds. In addition, the hairstyles remind one of the 1930s through present day, with the looks of the characters establishing their background, status, function. The Gorm especially bring to mind the resistance in France, both during the French Revolution and World War II. Everyone is gorgeous to look at in so many diverse ways. Thanks go to Michael Wilkinson, an Academy Award-nominated costume designer with an impressive resume of projects, including lots of genre productions like the American remake of the horror film Dark Water, Zack Snyder's films 300, Watchmen, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League, and the visually diverse Tron Legacy. Number 8, also gorgeous are the set designs. Kudos to Luke Hall and his team once again. We see a world that is lived in, old and worn and functional, juxtaposed with the breathtaking architecture of the wealthy upper class, the cold austerity of imperial facilities, the majesty of the Senate. From farms to jungles to factory towns to sprawling planet-covering cities, everything has authenticity, and there is never a moment, an angle, a view, never, that breaks immersion. Remember that while green screen effects are used when necessary to flesh out the world we see, there are impressive practical sets for the performers to interact with, and location shooting that brings its own sense of reality. For instance, an outdoor city set was built somewhere from 3 to 5 actual city blocks long, something the actors expressed gratitude for. I guess tied into this are the bits and pieces that make this world more real. For the first time, we see in-universe television, a show somewhere between The View and RuPaul's Drag Race. We see journalists embedded in the action, spreading disinformation in service to the empire. We witness the exuberant dancing of young people at a wedding to the pulsing beat of Star Wars techno music. We see apartment life and grocery shopping and all the mundanity of existence. Truly beautiful world building to behold. Number 7, speaking of the Gorm, attention must be paid to the language they speak. Language is another reason you should be watching Andor. Star Wars is populated with a vast number of alien races, each with their own language and sound. Gorm is a human colony, and the language they use, while created specifically for Andor by dialect coach Marina Tyndall, sounds like French mixed with German, among other phonetic ingredients. If you have studied French before, you will swear that you can almost understand some things they're saying, but there is no real chance of that unless you are Gorman. The immersion deepens further. You will be lost in the reality Andor generates. Number 6, the action. Andor is not an action spectacle, yet when fists have to fly, blasters have to blast, and bombs have to explode, it is impressive and grounded and brutal in its effectiveness and efficiency. There is more war here than Star, and I'm thankful for it. As fun as the adventuresome tone of the main film series is, We all need reminding that ending the reign of a despot or dictator brings freedom to all, but comes with a cost. In Andor, as in Rogue One, blood is spilled, lives are lost, and while noble, it is not pretty. The ugly necessity of war. There are too many stunt coordinators and performers, fight choreographers, and special effects artists to name here, but they all did great jobs. Number 5, the music. Andor doesn't have the triumphant swelling themes of the main film series. Its use of music is more atmospheric, more subtle. There are large portions when no music is present at all. It all serves to enhance the events taking place on screen. Nicholas Brittle, an Emmy Award-winning composer with 3 Academy Award nominations so far, a win there is inevitable if you ask me, brings as much or as little as is needed to help tell the story without getting in the way. Brittle had to take a step back in Season 2 due to scheduling, but Brandon Roberts, also an Emmy winner, took over nicely. Oh, a side note, don't skip the intros. If you do, you'll miss the fact that every episode has its own theme. Right from the start, the music is setting the atmosphere for what you're about to witness. Number 4, the Empire. If you haven't seen Andor, maybe all you think of when the Empire comes up are stormtroopers, Darth Vader, and the Emperor. They are the spectacle. Stormtroopers are the faceless enemy to be mowed down bloodlessly in vast numbers. No identity other than the white armor they wear. Darth Vader is the nemesis of Luke Skywalker, at once terrifying and tragic. The Emperor is evil, pure and simple. We never learn his true motivations, but understand that he is the driving force behind all of the pain, oppression, and injustice on display. Black and white storytelling, kids' stuff. But in Andor, we see the gray in all its shades. We see the banality of bureaucracy, the accountants and pencil pushers, from the lowest level in the imperial hierarchy through middle management up to the top-ranked officials who call the blood-soaked shots. So many people are blindly, happily following orders, doing their jobs, oblivious to the atrocities being committed throughout the galaxy. You can't help but respect the ever-frowning Dedra as she tries to climb the ranks while being slowly crushed as her hands get dirtier and dirtier. What is she fighting for? Is she in the wrong? You can't help but sympathize with the ever-put-upon Cyril, an ambitious young man with a never-satisfied nagging mother who only ever does his utmost best in hopes of gaining recognition and status. He is not evil, but he doesn't know the whole picture. Andor is not a story of good versus evil. No one's hands are clean, as we will see with number 3. Number 3, the rebellion. The apparent leader, Luthen. The political contact helping align pieces and funds, Mon Mothma. The operative, Cassian Andor. And so many others, some idealistic, some vengeful, some insane, or close to it, having been traumatized at the hands of the Empire, like Bix. We see Mon Mothma begin her descent, in a way, as she realizes how far she has to go for the rebellion to work. Luthen is already there, on the other side, having lost so much, knowing that he will not be celebrated or remembered, yet doing what he feels is right. And Cassian, edging further and further away from who he was, becoming someone he might not want to be. So much pain, such heavy responsibilities for them all. Yet they keep going. Number 2, the acting, especially Stellan Skarsgård. Everyone is working so hard across the board. Large role or small, there's not a single weak performance to be seen. Diego Luna as Cassian Andor. Kyle Soller as Cyril Karn. Adria Arjona as Bix Kalin. Genevieve O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. Denise Gough as Dedra Miro. Fiona Shaw as Cassian's adoptive mother, Marva. And so many more. It is a shame to leave any names out, but the list is too long. There is nuance, subtlety, volumes spoken in silence with body language and facial expressions. And there are speeches, too, delivered with passion, anger, sorrow, terror. There are some people less familiar to me who I hope have massive careers building on their achievements here in Andor. And as for Stellan Skarsgård, I think this is his best work ever. Truly masterful, as everyone involved is. Number 1, the writing. Season 1 had a full 12 episodes telling one long arc of how Cassian Andor got pulled into Luthen's service and joined the rebellion. This first season established all of the major characters, several locations where events were taking place, and the overall scope and tone of the series. The first season took place 5 years before the Battle of Yavin, or BBY-5. The original concept was to have 5 seasons, with each season moving 1 year closer to the Battle of Yavin, leading into the events of Rogue One and A New Hope. Showrunner and executive producer Tony Gilroy later explained that Andor would get a 12-episode second season that would wrap things up, as the 5-season plan was physically impossible due to the immense scale of the series. Originally, we thought, maybe we'll do 5 seasons, but it's just the scale of the show. I think when the show comes out, everybody will forgive us for not doing that. The show is huge, and it's just physically impossible. So then we were like, what are we going to do? And then the answer turned out to be incredibly elegant and perfect because we knew where we wanted to go. Every now and then, you get really lucky, and the solution turned out to be really fortunate for us. What we got was amazing. Each week, 3 episodes drop, with the first saying 1 year later and BBY4. The second batch saying 1 year later and BBY3. And on like that through BBY2 and BBY1. In essence, a feature-length film in 3 parts comes out every week, focusing on specific events 1 year apart, moving the characters and viewers slowly closer to the Star Wars original trilogy. There is a lot that happens off-screen, and we can see how drastically people on both sides are changing year by year. Our heroes are getting worn down, crushed by the weight of their task. Our antagonists, for I can't call Dedra and Cyril villains, are equally changed, with both questioning their roles in things as time passes. Not seeing everything, not having our hands held, rather being forced to pay attention and pick up on nuance to catch all of the very logical and realistic changes taking place on personal and galactic levels is very refreshing and treats the audience like capable adults. The plot points, the realistic and efficient dialogue where people say enough without over-explaining anything, the decision to let silence help in telling the story, the trust in allowing the viewer to figure things out that have gone unsaid, the intrigue and destruction of relationships, and political maneuvering, and contrast of idealism with pragmatism, and this is peak writing, exploring gray morality and the right and wrong on both sides at the ground level of both the Empire and the Rebellion. This is early Game of Thrones. This is Breaking Bad. If you like either of those shows, you will like Andor, I promise you. There you have it, 10 reasons why Andor is worth your time, if you haven't already been watching it. If you agree with my list or disagree, or have anything to add, please leave a comment and let me know. I'd love to read it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and let me know. And if you were entertained or informed in any way, please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos on entertainment topics of all kinds. Thank you for watching. See you next time.